What's going on, everybody? I am Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob. I'm here to talk to you about Kimball's Cookies. They've been our sponsor since the beginning, and we truly love them. They make custom cookies for every special occasion or holiday that you can think of. So order today, and you can order in sugar cookie, you can order chocolate. They have gluten-free options. They take care of you, and they're designed with love. I can tell you that for a fact. So check out Kimball's Cookies on Facebook, and when you order, use promo code SNOBS, and they'll give you 10% off your order. Thanks. What's up, everybody? It's the Scene Snob. I'm Mick Manhattan, and I'm here to talk to you guys about our awesome sponsor, Manscaped. They are the premier tool for your grooming downstairs. Summer's coming. Are you ready to unveil your beach bod? You're in luck. Our friends at Manscaped just launched their 4th generation performance package, which includes the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0 is here. Complement your summer bod with a trim from the leaders in male grooming. The sun is shining, call your name, guys. Join the 2 million men who trust Manscaped worldwide, including myself and all of the hosts here, and get ready for Hot Guy Summer by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the code SNOBS, SNOBS, and they'll get 20% off and free shipping. So go check out Manscaped now. They have amazing stuff like the 4.0, the Weed Whacker, the Crop Shaver, and all of their deodorizers and everything else are truly, truly amazing. I wear their underwear. I think it's just fantastic. But don't take my word for it. Go check them out yourselves because they have plenty of stuff for everybody. So go to manscaped.com and tell them the Scene Snobs sent you by using promo code SNOBS. And I'll talk to you guys later.
Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast. I'm Scene Snobs Jr. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Well, it's Tuesday night, everybody, and welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast. I am your host, Mick Manhattan, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Mr. Casey the Madman Plot.
A glorious grand evening to you all. Pleasure to see you, my friend.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm marvelous. How are you, sir?
I'm hanging in there. Doing all right. I was a little under the weather.
Yeah. Well, you look fantastic, and you look bushier. I'm not sure if this whole "you're feeling better" is working for you. It looks like your eyebrows have even begun to fill in more. You're looking wonderful.
You're going to attack the eyebrows, really?
It's not an attack, man. It's not an attack. They look glorious. Revel in the wonder that is your face.
It hurts. It hurts when the eyebrows are attacked, man.
They're not being attacked. They're being glorified. You're not listening. You're just thinking what you're thinking. So stop that.
I always think what I think.
Stop thinking what you think.
You can't make me think your thoughts.
It's true. I can't. That's thought control. And you know what? The Pink Floyd told me that's bad.
It is bad.
We don't need that.
When there's a wall there, it's real bad.
Yeah, especially more education and bricks. We don't need bricks. Hey, what's red and bad for your teeth? A brick.
Oh, my God. Are we bringing back anti-jokes?
Yeah, bring them back, bro. When did they go?
God.
When did they go?
That's true.
Ooh, we got Mr. Paul Dunn this evening. Pleasure, Paul. Good to see you, buddy.
Paul, what's going on?
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, man. Thank you, buddy. So, we got a special guest going to be joining us in about 8 minutes or so. Mr. Matt Burns, producer. You've seen him on the show before. He is producer of movies like Bigfoot. He is producer of... Oh, excuse me. He was...
You be all right there, buddy?
Remnants.
One more time.
I'm under the weather. I'm out of it.
People in the cheap seats? Remnants.
Remnants. I said that.
Remnants. Yeah, remnants.
I kind of said that. And he's also the star of the movie. He was in Bloody Summer Camp.
He was. He played Skunk.
Yep. And he's going to join us tonight because he is a part of the team that is putting on
a little film festival in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania called Nightmares on Main Street this week.
Yes. Very excited for it.
Oh yeah, we are super excited. We're going to be hosting panels there. We're hosting the Indie Filmmakers panel at 1:00 on Saturday, and then at 5:00 on Saturday, we're also hosting the 5 Decades of Horror and the History of Horror in Pennsylvania.
Yes, so, which is going to be fun because there's, I'm sure, a boatload of Dutch stories.
Yeah, oh, that's for sure. And they got a great lineup of movies. So starts Friday night. 7 p.m. They're going to be, they're going to be showing My Bloody Valentine. Helena Udi is going to be there. She was one of the stars of the movie. And she's been on the show before. If you guys have had a chance to check that out. And so they'll be doing that to kick off things on Friday night. And then Saturday, Casey, you ready for this lineup?
Oh, buddy, bring it on, because I'm stoked.
It's Wrong Turn from 2021. With our best friend, Damien Maffei.
Damien Maffei, so stoked he's going to be there.
Super best friend. And then it's going to be MILFs versus Zombies.
Yep, which I'm pretty stoked for. Bro, I mean, this whole lineup, like, I wanted to watch the Sorority Babes and the Slime Bowl Bolorama. I got it in my head. I was like, I really want to watch that movie. And then I looked at this lineup and was like, I can't. I need to save all of that energy for this.
Save it all for that. And then we got 3 and Remnants are going to be playing at 5:00. Then Bloody Summer Camp, 7 p.m. You have a chance to go see it.
Yes.
And the Blair Witch Project at 9. And then, of course, on Sunday, they're playing one of my favorite movies of all time, Night of the Living Dead.
Yep.
Then they're going to be playing the short Hoodie up with Dead Woman's Hollow. And then at 5 p.m., they will be doing the Paralyzed short with Darkness Waits. It's
going to be awesome. It's a pretty rad lineup. It should be fun.
So it's 75 West Main Street in Waynesboro at the Waynesboro Theater in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. So if you guys can come out and check it out, tickets are very affordably priced. You can head over to Nightmares on Main Street and Facebook and check them out. Like they have all the links and everything there.
Yes, please support them, join them, do the thing. It's going to be a great time. If you can make it out, definitely try to check some of these fun movies out. And you're going to be hanging out with directors, producers, actors, everybody who are part of the process. So if you enjoy filmmaking, and enjoy some of these just awesome, fun horror movies, then come on out.
Yeah, absolutely. And Paul, you said it right. Bloody Summer Camp was awesome. And we got to interview Dave Kerr, the director, and the cast when we were at Carolina Fear Fest back in May. Awesome people. Dave Kerr's actually going to be on the show again next week for it's an episode where we are paying homage, if you will.
Homage
to summer camps. So get your tight shirts on and your plum smugglers tidy up in there. And then
it's going to be good. I'm going to have to come over to your place, though, and definitely sit next to you, because I'm going to wear the most uncomfortably short shorts I can possibly create out of jeans. In fact, I should wear them this weekend. I think that's what I'm going to do this weekend. Yes.
All right. I doubt he's watching, but Dave, can we get a Camp Trust Fall t-shirt for Casey, please? Pretty please.
I would love one. I'm going to go up there and see if I have one for sale, because I'm going to grab one. What's up, my dog? How you doing, Jason, you beautiful human? I haven't talked to Jason in what feels like forever. We were talking a lot, and then all of a sudden I just stopped talking to everybody. I feel terrible about it.
Actually,
I miss all you people.
It's okay. We'll be back.
Of course.
I do want to, I'm glad you bring that up, because on July 30th, our buddy Jason, who hosts 3 Geeks podcast, his sister's family is kind of going through a tough time right now, and they need our help. And we are holding a charity fund-a-thon. It's a 12-hour event hosted by Casey and I.
It's going to be a marathon.
Starts at 2 p.m. on July 30th, ends at 2 a.m.
Or a question mark.
Or question mark. Well, no, at 2 a.m. I'm going to bed.
Question mark being like 1:55 if we're still up. Just
I'm ready to go to bed. We made it last time, though. We did. It was 8 hours last time, but we made it.
Yeah, 8 hours, at this point, 8 hours is nothing. We got to start training for the big 24-hour, because we're going to have one.
That's why I'm slow increments in these charity events.
We'll get there.
But we're going to help out Jason's sister. It's called Save the Milbies. So if you guys can please watch along. The GoFundMe is out now. So we're gonna have a ton of people jump in and do a show, and they'll take an hour or time here. We're gonna have guests come in. It's gonna, if you watched the Save Brady campaign that we did, the charity event, it's going to be even bigger, and we're so excited about it. So hopefully you guys can all join us and watch.
Absolutely. It's very similar to that event. And, once again, if you're not able to help, because everybody goes through times, everybody, is in different situations, even just by sharing and giving a little bit of your time and being able to, spread the word, that helps a lot too. So in any way, shape or form, we appreciate it. And we love you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Most definitely, Casey, I couldn't put it better myself, so I'm just going to stop there. But yeah, keep in mind, guys, so that's July 30th, but tonight, Matt Burns is going to be stopping by any minute, and then he's going to promote Nightmares on Main Street, and then we have some fun topics planned for you guys. So topic ideas, they kind of flew at me this weekend, Case.
Right in your face, huh?
Right in my face. All up in my face. And so our topics tonight are going to be what do you have to do to make an effective friendship in movies?
All right. I mean, I thought about it because there were a couple different, versions of friendships. We've discussed different, best friends and things along those lines in movies, and what buddies work best and what don't. That's a fun one. I'm going to have fun discussing that. I don't want to get too far into it because I don't want, how this works. We'll get on a roll, then match on. So
another question I wanted to pose, is, do early announcements of movies, like I'm talking years in advance, does it kind of ruin the idea of going to see that movie?
Absolutely. I think in a lot of cases, I think it's overdone, man. You jump right into it, and unfortunately, you get me all steamed up. Black Widow is the prime example, and I'm not blaming the studio for Black Widow. I understand it was a weird situation, but that's what happens. Like, you got to get all geared up for it, and then it wasn't until the day before it's released when I was like, oh yeah, I remember I'm supposed to be excited about this. Yeah, let me bring the joy factor back. So.
I'm going to stop you there for a moment because we have our guest, Matt Burns, is here, and he's going to talk to us about Nightmares on Main Street Film Fest. Matt, what's up, buddy?
Matt, buddy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Long time no see since Fear Fest. Long time no see since Fear Fest. How y'all been?
Good. Been well. How you doing, man?
Good. I'm glad, Mick. I hope you're feeling better. I know you said you weren't feeling too good earlier, so I mean, hopefully you're feeling a little bit better now.
Doing much better.
He's just whining. Don't listen to him. He's just a big baby.
I am a little bit. So, Matt, this weekend, big film fest coming up in Waynesboro. You're one of the main guys running it, man. So, tell us about it. Tell us about what's going to happen, what the events are, and everything.
All right. Well, like I said again, I know the lighting in this room sucks. I apologize in advance. But anyway, so like I said, but anyway, so yeah, Nightmares on Main Street. It's the first year we've done this film festival. Well, I like to shout out to Bill Kohler and Main Street Waynesboro for being so supportive of the idea and everything. A lot of places aren't really so supportive when it comes to horror sometimes. So, but yeah, it's this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Actually, we have a screening on Friday as well with My Bloody Valentine, and if you come, you get a free poster signed by Helen Uday, who was Sylvia in the movie, the gal that got killed with the shower head, which was probably one of the really cool death, right? One of the best. It was. Yeah, very cool, very very cool death. I mean, like I said, what very memorable for sure. And she'll be there the rest of the weekend along with John Russo from Night of the Living Dead, Damien Maffei from The Strangers, Jeremy Ambler, who's in like The Walking Dead, and the new Wrong Turn movie, which we're also screening. Like, so we have probably three mainstream movies that were made in this area. Well, the region, Night of the Living Dead, 1968, which was done outside of Pittsburgh. Obviously, everybody knows in '68 or whatever. So I mean, that we're showing that as at the matinee time, Sunday at noon. Then Saturday, the first day at noon will be Wrong Turn, the new Wrong Turn from 2021. We have some of the cast that are going to be on hand, signing autographs and answering questions at the theater as part of your ticket price. And the other movie, of course, is the Blair Witch Project, which everybody knows was one of the biggest movies ever to come out of this area. Which is funny because I think they shot that for what, about 10 to 20 grand. It was pretty low, pretty meager budget, and that's what we all hope to do one day. I mean, I think the local filmmakers. I mean, that would be really cool to stumble upon the next Blair Witch Project or whatever. But hats off to them for making it. We got Remnants, Mark Byrne and myself. Of course, you've had him on the show many times. We got Mills vs. Zombies, Bloody Summer Camp, which if you didn't see that at Carolina Fear Fest, you really should see it here. Fantastic movie. I mean, really, really good flick. And we also got the Waynesboro double feature on Sunday, Dead Woman's Hollow and Darkness Waits, which was made by Matt and Libby, who actually live right on Main Street, Waynesboro, which is probably, you can't get any more local than that. So yeah, I mean, it's all going to be at the Waynesboro Theater. You can meet the filmmakers across the street at Warner Soda Shop. They were willing to give us their banquet in our party room, which was awesome. So you get to see all the local merchandise, and you also get to meet Hella New Day and John Russo over there. And we have 2 other vending areas as well. We have Main Street Park, which will start at 1 o'clock, and we will also have, starting at 11 o'clock on Saturday, the Counting House, which is an event center they converted from an old BB&T bank. So, like I said, it's a lot going on, a lot going on. So try not to miss any of it. Like I said, it's a lot going on. We got a lot of great stuff going on. So hope everybody will be good. And of course, you guys will be on hand Saturday doing some really cool panels with like Sandy Johnson from Halloween. Like I said, John Russo. I know Donna Jean Phillips is helping you guys out with like the Scream Queen one and the independent filmmakers panel. So
yeah, we're excited, man. We appreciate you having us.
Absolutely, you guys have been really awesome. Like I mean, seriously, I mean, you did a hell of a job at Carolina Fear Fest. I mean, that was a great event, and I'm glad to see you guys doing so well with that. So I mean, I was gonna say it was a lot of fun. So hopefully you get to. I think you guys jokingly called Damien like your best friend or whatever.
Absolutely, man.
That's right, Damien Buffet.
He was the only one who came in and interviewed with us back in that little room, and he was radical, man. He was a cool dude. I remember
that. I felt bad about that. I really did. But I guess everybody was jet lagged. I guess.
Dude, I was going to say it's first time for a lot of people traveling in a long time, so I understand that there's still a lot of rust to knock off. Yeah, I get it.
100%. And we get it, and it's really like we were just happy to be there and have a great time with everybody.
It was a blast, man. It was a really good experience, and we were happy we were able to, virtually bring it to people, and we're going to be doing the same thing here. So this is going to be radical.
Absolutely. Actually, yeah, it's going to be really cool. Absolutely. Okay, it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, that's what I was going to say.
So what are you most excited for? How are you feeling? Are you feeling anxious or anything like that?
Oh, I mean, it's always anxious. Every time you pull these together, it's always you always got to fill in the blanks or whatever. But I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, I'm just excited for the town of Waynesboro. I hope we can raise some money for the theater. It's a nonprofit, and raise money for the filmmakers as well. I mean, all the proceeds they go in to see these movies are going to either the filmmakers and to the theater, which is going to I think prove to be a great art house, a great art space for local film. And hopefully years to come, as long as people keep supporting it the way they have been. So
that's fantastic. Yeah, hopefully we're able to nothing like pumping a little extra blood in there, right? Get a little more going.
So with something like this though, and celebrating the area, and so everybody knows it's the West Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Virginia area. When you come into the, like Damien Buffet was in Wrong Turn, and we had some of the actors in and such. For them, how close or tied into the area are they? Yeah, the actors that are coming in.
Well, I mean, Damien's an East. I mean, most of the people that were in the Wrong Turn movie were East Coast because it was shot here in the East Coast. I mean, the only ones that are coming in from any sort of distance is Sandy Johnson and Helen Day. And Helen Day, we've been talking to her a lot about being in some future projects. Of course, the Phobias project we talked to her about. But I mean, after this weekend, who knows? She might be. You may actually see her in a couple local projects coming up. We'll like I said. I mean, if we've worked it correctly, hopefully you'll see her in some film projects for this area coming soon.
It's a good area for it, so I mean, I'm excited to see that. And it's with so many filmmakers going on, like how big of a turnout are you guys anticipating right now? Has there been a lot of pre-sale tickets or?
Well, because not everybody's going to the. I know like a lot of the people are going to the theater. The people going to the theater. There's people that are just coming to for the festival part of it as well. So it's, as far the Facebook event page has really been blowing up. We got almost 800 people on there. So
Nice.
the theater only holds 190. So that would be really awesome, even if just a fraction of that amount of people came out or whatever. But yeah, we're definitely hoping that it does well, so we can do another one. We can keep doing them, hopefully. This is the one chance that the local filmmakers don't have to rent a theater, don't have to do all this, don't have to jump through a bunch of hoops like a lot of the theaters do. Yeah. Fortunately around here there's a lot of open-minded people and a lot of people who want to who like the local art community and want to make this work. So which is great.
Yeah, which is nice too, and having experienced that little bit of the community from the Fear Fest and knowing that there's more of this, it's good to see that the local small independent filmmakers all have a venue, all have a way of getting together, of really communicating, of working, and it's great to see that, and it's wonderful to be able to help support that community. We're stoked.
Absolutely. I can't wait. I really hope that it does as well as I think it's really been. Like I said, there's a lot. There's a lot going on now. I think when we planned this thing 4 months ago or whatever. Bill and I were joking about this. The head of Main Street Waynesboro, Bill Kohler. We were joking about this. We were like, wow. We were like, we didn't think the whole world was going to open back up in 4 months, and then then everything's going on. All of a sudden, it's like, wow. It's funny how quick that happened or whatever. Yep. It's going to be really interesting because this is not a big time convention. It's not a Monster Mania or Scares. Which or Carolina Fears. They're all these shows are great, and like I said, it's going to be very interesting to see how a smaller show will do amidst all these bigger ones now.
Yeah. But it's a film fest like this is important. It highlights a lot of things that we really care about, especially in the horror community. So everybody, if you can go out and support, for sure, get out there and support. What movie are you most excited to go check out while you're there?
I don't know how many movies I'm going to be checking out because I'm going to be running around a lot, unfortunately. But yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff going on. Mills versus Zombies. That's an older flick, but it's actually a director's cut, which just came out. So that's a new cut
awesome.
of that. Remnants has actually been remastered since the last year's Alamo screening. So we've actually remastered that. The picture quality and the sound quality is a lot better on it now. And like I say again, Bloody Summer Camp. I cannot say enough good things about that movie. That was really super impressive when we saw that in Carolina. So, and of course, Darkness Waits and Dead Woman's Hollows are both. They're all. All these films are fantastic. Nobody. Especially for the folks, like us, who never got to see Night of the Living Dead in the theater. It's just a great opportunity to see a legendary. The movie that changed it all in the zombie genre. It changed everything. And maybe even in the horror genre in general. But in 1968, that movie just came so far out of left field and just really changed everything about the horror genre. So it's just to see something like that on the big screen is really something. And you don't know how many more opportunities you're going to have to see something like that. It's so definitely it's definitely something that we want to be able to preserve and make memories for people, to pass on to other people in the area. So
well, of course, yeah, it's definitely something that being able to witness and experience those movies that we grew up with, or that are sort of the legendary in ones that, like you said, changed the game. Like I got to see Halloween on the big screen and it was mind-boggling. I was like in love, so it's definitely being able to see that on the big screen will be fantastic. It's an experience. It's what other people experienced generations ago, and now we get to get that. So yeah, it's always fun to be able to do that.
And a very cool thing about this too is, you're not just getting My Bloody Valentine. You're not just getting Night of the Living Dead and Blair Witch and things like generations ago we're experiencing on the big screen. But now, like people who may have missed Wrong Turn, go check it out. It's got great reviews and people are loving it. I liked it.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different take on it, from what I understand. It's not like a scene for scene reboot like they tried to do with Cabin Fever a few years ago. That's from what I hear. Yeah, I heard that. I was actually trying to be nice, but yeah, no. I'm glad that they actually did the true reboot. It was actually different instead of the same Eliza Dushku movie. You know what I mean? It's just but a lot of of people, especially I've noticed like in the horror genre, a lot of people, it seems like they want the same old, same old. Sometimes, I mean, it's
right.
but it's all. But I mean, hey, to each their own. I mean, that is what it is.
I mean, they look. It's a Wrong Turn movie, and they picked up one of their stars, Matthew Modine. Like, he's a great actor. Like,
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I remember that was one of the reasons why we got the movie was the Bill Cole was like, oh my god, Matthew Modine was in this. I'm like, yeah. I was like, it was shot right in Ohio. He's like, no way. It was like that's like it was like the next state over or whatever. So it's just like yeah. So it was like yeah. So it kind of, that's kind of how that worked. But yeah, it's I mean, you gotta. I mean, I'm just glad that they did a new spin on a new take on it. It wasn't just the same old.
Right. Yeah. Which, I mean, I understand people loving the same old. Hills Have Eyes. Something similar to that. There's a security blanket factor to it, where it's this is my favorite. This is my thing. This is my safe genre. Yeah. So when you start slapping names on things and making a completely different movie, it can be difficult. So it's nice to see a good true reboot.
Yeah, and then also you got movies like the new I mean, and then there's just I mean a lot of these I'm just one of the great things about the indie horror genre to me is that there's a lot of good original ideas. Mm-hmm. A lot of the ideas in the mainstream just seem kind of cookie cutter and watered down. Though I did enjoy the first two, Fear Street. I don't know if you guys have seen those yet.
Love Fear Street.
I haven't watched.
Yeah, I haven't seen the 66 one yet. I haven't seen the 60s, but the first two were. I actually surprisingly really enjoyed those. They were a lot of fun. Great
homage sort of feel to it, the fact that they captured all the best parts of each genre of each setting, which is funny though. I'm just gonna, not to ruin anything, but the 1666 genre, as much as I love it, it's always my favorite, it's boring because the only thing you had to do in colonial life was stay alive.
Yes, pretty much.
That was your goal. What are you doing today? Hopefully not dying.
And this movie just adds another
disease or whatever. You have disease or whatever.
A broken leg, that's it. You're dead. Like,
yeah, you're dead. That's what I said. Yeah, because there was no medicine or anything at that time.
There was medicine, but they were witches.
Oh yeah, but if it was medicine, you get hung. If you took medicine, you get hung for being a witch.
Exactly. Or even better, you get dipped and find out if you float.
Yeah. If you die, you're human, and we love you. It's okay.
Yeah. No, God will take care of you. It's fine. Yeah. Life was cheap. I mean, that was back when they auction off people like 14 years old. So it's horrifying. Humans suck. So
yeah, we definitely have our downfalls. That's for sure.
Yeah. I bet that wasn't on Fear Street though. They didn't want to touch down on that.
I don't want to give anything away.
Don't
ruin my moment.
I didn't say it.
Don't take this away from me.
But I was going to say, I mean, the trailers kind of made. I was going to say they kind of insinuated that in the trailer. So, I mean, to be fair, they kind of insinuate that in the trailer.
We do appreciate you coming out, man. One thing I do want to ask before you go, though, what are some horror movies that are coming out that you're most excited for right now?
Well, I was going to say, I mean, some of the better ones I've seen, like in the last. I've seen some pretty good ones. I mean, the one that I was really impressed with, it's on Hulu. If you guys haven't seen it yet, it's a movie called Trick. It came out like a couple years ago. It's Omar Epps in it. It's really, really good. Great original storyline. It was just called Trick is the name of it. Okay. Which I mean, it was a very, very good movie. And then I was just trying to think, what are some of the other ones that I've watched recently? I said Bloody Summer Camp was really good. I'm kind of anxious to see Brad Twigg's new one, Shriek Show. That should be a pretty good. That's. I've definitely been following that one. I can't wait till that one finally makes it out or whatever. That's definitely
Shriek
a good
Show?
one. Yeah, Shriek Show.
Okay.
We got a comment here. A good buddy of the show and a good friend, all around. He's a great guy, Phil Herman, who has Hardtail 666 coming out in August. I've been following this movie in his posts. I'm very excited for it. It looks very cool. So yeah, we will be promoting that. My friend Phil, thank you for joining in. But yes, in August, it's part 2, by the way. There is a part 1, so you can go out and see it. But,
that's cool. Another one I was going to say, 1031, an anthology series called 1031. But they're making a part 3 to that. They have 2 parts out now. The first one you can watch on like Tubi and Prime and whatnot, and I think you can rent the second one or buy it on DVD. It's put out by Terror Films, who do the Hell House LLC series, which is a lot.
Yeah, nice. I actually like those. Cool. Yeah, Hell House was solid.
Yeah, it was cool. I was gonna say, the funny thing is that actually I'm gonna drop this little nugget. We can talk about it more later. But actually, my fall is going to be consisting of actually bringing back a haunted house, the Apollo Theater, the Apollo-Ween or whatever in Martinsburg. Some friends of mine and myself are bringing that back. It's going to be the haunted theater. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's like kind of like a haunted attraction, kind of like Creekside Manor or Hackney Haunts, or a much bigger level obviously would be Field of Screams. But yeah, we're definitely looking forward. But we've been working on rebuilding that and getting that ready for the new haunt season in October. So Apolloween.com if you guys want to check that out or whatever. It's like I said, we'll definitely be having some. We'll be keeping everybody updated on the building and getting ready to promote that and let it run for the first time in about 4 or 5 years.
That's awesome, man. That sounds great. Glad you're bringing it back.
Yeah, and we
something different, something to break things up, I guess.
We'll come up there and bug you. Well, I love
it. Come on up, man. We'll scare the shit out of you.
Hey, I'm in. Let's do it. Just don't, as long as we're not doing are we doing the shaking, grabbing thing? Because problems happen.
Yep, we are. Yep, 100%.
Oh, nice.
We are doing that.
Because I'm just saying, no one's going to get hit. I'm just going to scream and jump about 7 feet and run away. So
okay, well, like I said, please don't hit the actor. Please don't hit the actor.
No, won't hit anyone. I'll hit a wall. That's what'll happen. I'll go to run away.
Punch the wall.
I'm going to be the one grabbing Casey.
Punch the wall and break your head and then sue us. There you go.
No punching. It's literally physically I will be running away and hit a wall.
I see running into the wall. Okay,
no violence at all. No.
Yeah, I was going to say
shaped hole. Right in the wall. But Matt, thank you so much for coming on.
I like Bugs Bunny when they run through the wall and it's their shape.
That's me. That's me. I talk real tough game, and then we would try to drive to Bunny Man Bridge, and I'm making a video basically just telling my daughter how much I love her, and if anything happens to me.
Meantime, you're pissing your pants probably at the same time.
Oh, dude, it was terrible. I was such a baby. I'm such a baby about that stuff. I love it, but I'm a baby.
That's funny.
My favorite night. My part. But Matt, thank you so much for coming on, man. We cannot wait.
Absolutely, thank you guys. Always a pleasure. Can't wait to see you guys on Saturday.
Absolutely, bro.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. Y'all take it easy. I'll see you then.
Be well, man. Can't wait to see you.
Bye. Dude, we are so excited. That sounds so exciting, man.
It's Nightmares
on Main Street Film Fest, and it's going to be at Waynesboro Theater in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. We'll be there hosting panels, and we're going to have our cameras on hand to kind of walk around and show you guys things on our social media and whatnot. So make sure you head over. It'll be on our Facebook page.
Yes.
The Scene Snobs podcast Facebook page. Go over and follow that, and that's where we'll share videos and stuff like that live as we go. So
it's going to be awesome, man. I'm super excited. This is going to be a really good time. And plus, I kind of want to go up on Friday and just check out My Bloody Valentine. Seeing that on the big screen would be pretty neat too.
Yeah. I mean, like all of it all together.
And especially with what it's going towards. Like that's the most important thing. This is going towards the theater, going to the directors and the filmmakers, man. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And that's important. And, here we're always about helping the indie filmmaker if we can.
Absolutely.
We may not be able to give you money, but we can try and give you some promotion.
We some broke bitches, but you know what? We'll put our beautiful faces on your product.
And we'll be happy to be in your movies and get murdered.
Please don't hesitate to hit us up and murder the Scene Snobs.
Because you know what it is? It's the Summer of Rudd.
The Summer of Rudd. Ladies and gentlemen, the Paul Rudd Challenge continues.
Yes.
And I have been feeling very Paul Ruddian this week.
Casey, I would like you to explain what the Paul Rudd Challenge is and give me some ideas of how you were Paul Rudding this week.
Well, you see, my good friend, what happened in my life is I realized I was getting too stressed. And I realized that one man who's never been too stressed, because clearly by the look of his face and his incredible agelessness, is Paul Rudd.
Yep.
So Paul Rudd, the wit, wisdom, wonder, childlike wonder, the charm, we needed to embrace that. I felt like if I could embrace and harness that in some way, then I could make myself a better version of me, even slightly. So every day trying to be more Paul Ruddian. Well, I went off Ant-Man. So each week I'm kind of picking a movie. This one I just went with Ant-Man because, good father, it's important. Spend more time with the kid, valid. That's got to happen. And it's my favorite time in my life. So it's the best. So we did that, although now she's reaching that weird age where she's kind of like, yeah, but I really want to play video games or I really want to do this rather than hang out with you and do stuff, Dad. I'm like, all right.
Oh,
that's cool.
Damn. I'm not looking forward to that. And
But it's small doses. It's small doses. It's not a lot. Like 90% of the time, it's still, Daddy, let's do stuff together. And it's like, cool, let's go. But they're starting to reach that point where she's like, I just kind of want to sit and hang out and do this for a minute. And I'm like, oh.
It's like you got to be on the ready. Like, prepared.
Yeah.
Like, she's just like, hey, let's go hang out and play.
Boom, drop everything. Let's go. Woof.
Let's go. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. So I've been working on actually figuring out kind of a better schedule with her and more stuff we can do around the area that I live now. So now that I moved and I finally started getting settled in, and the game of where's my stuff is still going on. So that's why I'm at work. We're still working on where's all my stuff.
Yeah. Well, you always got to play.
So that also kind of leads me to more of a Paul Rudd thing too, is unfortunately this one kind of worked its way in accidentally, but it has worked its way in a few times this week from his character in what is it? Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh God.
Which one of my favorite Paul Rudd characters. And he has a very famous line when he's like, yo, man, it's Kuno, I think his name is. And he's like, hey, bro, when life gives you lemonade, gives you lemons, just say fuck it and bail. So there were a few times when I just kind of looked at all the unboxings, all of my clothes that I'm trying to get organized and set up. And I'm like, you know what else is a lot cooler? Watching Black Widow for the 12th time.
Oh, God, why? Why are you doing this to yourself?
Because I love that movie. I love David Harbour. How do you dislike it that much?
All right, hearsay.
Is it because of the experience we had?
It's a one shot for me.
Oh, far from it. What? Are you saying the Day of the Condor is a one shot for you? Sneakers?
That was a good movie with Robert Redford.
Oh, would you calm down? This was a good movie too. Would you not watch the Bourne movies 1,000 times?
Not 1,000 times. But listen, here's the thing. It wasn't a Bourne movie. It wasn't 3 Days of the Condor. It was Black Widow. And it could have been so much better. And she deserved way better.
But she got good. She got great. As far as I'm concerned, she did really well. Look, I got more upset with her finish. Right, I can hear myself and I hate it.
Here's my thing. All right. Here's the thing. She deserved way better than what she got, right? And here's what bugs me is that they did this and it is good. She deserved great. She deserved her own,
There were weak parts. I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your ass and tell you it was the best movie I've seen all year. It is not. But it is a fantastic Marvel movie. They managed to continue a fantastic story. They managed to wrap up another fantastic story. And they gave her a very nice send-off. Could it have been better? Of course. Were there scenes that were weak? Absolutely. But you know what? All in all, the product that I got out of everything else that I've seen recently over the last couple years, I still like it. I enjoy it. It gives me, it's my blanket. It's one of my security blankets. If I see Marvel roll at the beginning of it, I'm going to get a story I love.
You know what it was for me? Comparing it to comic books.
You can't do that.
Yes, you can.
You know better. You know better.
I can do
No,
it.
yeah, why? You're setting yourself for failure when you have 37 years of the comic book character and you're going to go one movie.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. That's not what this is. What I'm saying is, like, if you're reading through and let's compare, like, I don't know, you got Endgame. So it compares to, Infinity War and Endgame compares to Infinity, the book. My point being is Black Widow was basically just kind of like all right, this is a side book that I picked up one month and there was a team up and they fought, Mordo, and it was okay. it was fine. It was what it was. I got to read a comic book. That was great. That's what it was for me.
Okay.
And that's my comparison to comic books.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like your comparison because I'm sorry. There were too many good one shots and this was too much good story and it was too nice to give. It was very, very, very well acted. That's the other thing that really got me is the fact that every single one of those actors is fantastic. I love them, and they brought a strong game. I enjoyed it.
Really though?
Yes. Yes. Why is everyone on this David Harbour kick about, well, his accent kept slipping? He was a major Russian super soldier who then had to be undercover in America for 3 years. So you're telling me triggers wouldn't have him going in and out of his accent all the time? I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. I will let that go.
No,
nope.
I'm going to explain this the best way I can. Here's how I explain this.
Bring it.
3 years he was in America, had to speak with an American accent. He was, probably trained for maybe a couple of years before that to get to that point. But then it was 1995 when they left, and then he came home and he went to the prison. And this takes place in, 2016?
Yeah, I think so.
Like 21 years, right?
Yeah.
He's in a Russian prison. His accent's going to be thicker than anything.
And see, this, my friend, is where you and I are able to differ on our, how much we suspend disbelief.
Well, that wasn't the part that bothered me. I'm just saying, you brought that up. Fair. That's why I was explaining.
No. I'm just willing to let it go because I'm willing to say, yeah, fuck it. Fine. And
I respect people who like it. I'm not picking on them. I'm not saying, like, you didn't like this, screw you, man. Or you liked it, screw you, man. Like, I get it. I understand. Mm-hmm. For me, I love the Black Widow character so much. And Scarlett Johansson did such an amazing job. This almost seemed a little muted compared to the rest of her roles.
Okay, to some degree, I'll give you that. But at the same token, it was her movie. And what happened at the end with the bonding, with the building, with that family thing, it was a really better version of Fast and the Furious 9.
Ugh. All right, listen.
With all the family talk.
Anybody who watches Black Widow is like, she just didn't do a great job starring in the movie. I kind of understand that. But if you watch Lucy and she can. She can carry a movie, and an action movie at that. Mm-hmm. She should have been able to do that with this. And I don't think they let her. I'm not putting it on her.
No, but I don't think it was a matter of she had to. I think the whole point was to really start to hand off to Yelena. So I think it was handing off to Florence Pugh. And I'm going to be honest with you, Florence Pugh stole every scene from me. She was just that good. She did a very, very good job. And the fighting they did, I'm sorry, that kitchen, come on, dude. That apartment scene in Budapest, that was one of the highlights. It was awesome.
Listen,
I loved it.
It was good, but none of the fighting scenes were better than Winter Soldier. None of them in that movie were better than Winter Soldier.
I don't know, man.
They should have been.
Okay, but you're saying better than. When you're saying better than compared to what? Are you talking about the scene between Bucky and Cap on the street? Are you talking about them fighting up in the helicraft carrier?
Everything. Like you take every fight that happened in what do you call it, in Black Widow, and you compare it to every fight in Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier wins hands down. Every fight in that movie is super well choreographed. She does perfect in it. And for me, it's like that's what Winter Soldier was, the spy movie that Winter Soldier was. This should have been even more so that.
I see that, but I disagree only because this is a more smaller, someone on the run versus whereas like with Winter Soldier, that's you're having a big political thriller where this massive community is coming through in Hydra, and they're breaking out, and it's going to be this huge war essentially that's erupting from the inside. So I don't know. I feel like the scale of Winter Soldier isn't fair to try to compare because this is just a smaller scale operation taking out the Red Room, which yes, the Red Room, huge, massive power, but nobody knows about them. They're tiny. They're, so just saying size wise, they're small.
Nobody, unless you're a comic fan, you didn't know who Winter Soldier was. And he was brand new right out of the gate.
Yeah.
And you kind of knew Bucky from the first one, but, this was a different thing. You didn't know what he turned into. Right. So it was very similar in that you didn't know what this entity was. And they did a great job, flawless in Winter Soldier. I also think that maybe Black Widow was just misplaced.
Well, it was her origin tale. We were getting part of her origin story in reverse. So it's kind of difficult when there's going to have to be that much explanation. Yeah. It's difficult to try to sum it up and try to make it in easy bites,
I think I would have appreciated this movie more if it had come out right after Civil War and then set it up with the sister but leave the last scene with the sister and Valentina. I don't care if I'm ruining it. You leave that last scene for one of the TV shows like Falcon and Winter Soldier. or something like that. And
Maybe.
But then you have her, then her end is her end.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see after she dies in these next phase, the sisters show back up, you're like, oh wow, that's great. That's awesome that they tied this all together. And like in 4 or 5 years, we haven't seen or heard her, and here she is.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Unfortunately, it didn't happen that way.
Listen, I'm going to keep talking until you get mad and lose Rudd points.
Bro, it's not going to happen.
It's going to lose.
Do you know how chill I am? I'm so Paul Rudd chill right now, bro. I've been working out again. I'm feeling good. I'm trying to work on my diet. It hasn't been wonderful, but it's better than what it was. So
you want to come over tonight and get some chili dogs?
Yeah. Of course I do, but I'm not going to do that because I'm trying to be better. I'm going to eat some peas and some rice tonight.
You're a better man than I, sir. Well, no, yeah. I actually haven't been really eating that much because I've been not feeling too well. But, but what I have eaten has been pretty healthy, so I can't complain.
Good. Bravo. Keep it up. We got to, man. It's time to Summer of Rudd.
I'm not. After my surgeries, I'm not going back. But, we're talking about a new movie. I know we had some topics, but I did want to bring this up and see what you thought. Have you watched Space Jam 2 yet?
No.
That's fair.
No. I've heard way too many negative things from everyone.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. It seems to be everywhere. Well, I don't know. It's Space Jam. I never liked the first one. There. I said it. I didn't care about the first one.
I'm not upset. I am not upset about it. But do you hate the Looney Tunes? Why do you hate the Looney Tunes? What did Bugs Bunny do to you?
Here's the thing. I love Looney Tunes, but I love my Looney Tunes to be historically accurate. So when Bugs Bunny is a Civil War Union officer chasing around the rebel officer in Yosemite Sam, that is what is up. That is my Looney Tunes. That's what I want to see. I want to see the Roadrunner just smoking that coyote, and somehow this coyote from some sort of, I don't know, secret angel investor who keeps managing from Acme to get all of these, everything he orders, he gets. So I don't know if he's got a wonderful credit card. I don't know if he's stealing identities. You know what? I bet he was the first identity thief. That's what Wile E. Coyote was doing. Listen. That's where all of his money came from. He just kept signing it all as Mel Blancs. Like, they'll never notice.
Mel Blancs checked.
Yeah.
Whoa, I did it. I will say I liked the first Space Jam. I enjoyed it. Especially
I'm not saying I didn't like it. It just didn't mean as much as so many other people. So it's just like I don't bother with it. I don't return to it.
That's fair. And I'm not taking it away. And actually, out of all of the answers I've received about Space Jam 2, that is probably the one that I can, because you're not saying I hate it. You're not saying it's bad. You're just saying you didn't like it. And I can respect it. So like, even with like Black Widow, I didn't like it. But like, whatever, I get why people did.
Right. But you can accept that you're totally wrong.
No, because I said it's good. It just didn't hit on the points that I wanted to.
Right.
Space Jam 2, the thing I kind of liked about it, first of all, it's not for me.
Did it tickle all the good spots? Is that what it did, Mick?
Tickled all the good spots. Those ears tickled my spots. I will say, for Space Jam 2, the reason I like this because I watched it with my kids and we're just laughing our asses off, and that's what you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. That's what these kids' movies are designed for. So when I hear people complaining,
really, you're laughing your ass off at Inside Out? You sick bastard.
No, actually, that's not. That's one I'm like, I don't know if this is all right.
Oh, you thought the beginning of the Up was just a riot, huh? You thought Up was great. Like, oh, look, they have this beautiful life together. And then she dies and he becomes a miserable old man. Ha, ha, ha. I see it, Mick. I see it. You sick, black-hearted bastard.
It's disgusting, and that's why Pixar should just be burned.
I think that's a bit much.
No, they're wonderful.
Pump those brakes.
Those are wonderful movies, but they are not kids' movies. Kids can watch them.
Right.
But they are not kids' movies.
I still think they're kids' movies. I think they just introduce things to children that we have lived through. So us seeing it through those eyes is like, oh, it's devastating. Yeah.
But there's
realize it's like hearing that, at one point you'll put your child down and never pick them up again. It's just
I'm 6'8". I'll always be able to do it.
Oh yeah, no, River, I don't care. I'm going to be constantly like wrestling with her and be like, nah, I will always be picking you up. You're my child. Like, I'm going to teach her the Lex Luthor rack.
I have 2 older brothers, and I can pick them up and carry them around. You think I'm not going to do that to my kids?
I mean, Val, you do that to me.
Yeah, that's true. but for me, like when it comes to like watching those movies, and it's actually made me revisit old movies that were considered bad, and I was like, I don't know if I'd watch this again, and I'd watch it with them, and I'd be like, oh, this was really funny because I'm watching it through their eyes, and yes, Pixar movies, like I don't think Jack should have watched Inside Out. He did, and he
Not
cried.
yet. Yeah, I think I honestly, I took River. That's when I showed it to River, and I'm like, I kind of messed up. I'm like, this is more of like a 9-10-year-old kind of movie, something to really that 5th, 6th grade when emotions happen, when things start connecting in different ways.
And I'm going to save this because a great topic I think we should talk about more in depth when we have a longer show.
Brain elasticity?
Yeah. No, is like movies like that, like Pixar and what they're doing. Should they be marketing it to children? Because it's really not for smaller children.
I mean, River didn't like Soul at all. She tried it, and the story it didn't connect with her. You know what I mean? Whereas I loved it. I thought it was beautiful. It was fantastic. It was amazing. But it's true that it didn't connect for her. Although, bro, you'll love this. I tried to put on A Great Outdoors because I wanted to watch that with her. I was like, come on, kid, let's watch this. Dude, 15 minutes in, she's like, this is really boring, Daddy. I don't think I like this at all. I was like,
I don't remember liking The Great Outdoors as much as a little kid. I think it was like preteen.
Right, exactly. So it's like learning now, like how old was I when I really enjoyed these movies? I got to figure it out.
And you have to introduce certain actors at certain ages. John Candy, you have to take a movie like Uncle Buck,
yep,
and introduce your kid with that.
Absolutely. And I feel like it's almost like 10.
Yeah.
10 or, a little bit older where the mischief is like, I can do the mischief part, when they start really getting the wheels turning. That's when it's time to get those kind of funnier things, because more things are funny at that age too. And right now she's into fart jokes.
Yeah.
Fart jokes, Mick.
Bringing back to my original point with like Space Jam 2. Again, if I go see it in the theater by myself, that's weird. Secondly, if I go do that and I don't like it, it's because I didn't understand why it's funny, but watching it with my kids, I did. Perfect story examples when I went to go see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, when they remade it with Johnny Knoxville and everything. I don't know why I was going to see it. It was just one of those days where I was like, I'm going to go to the theater and whatever's playing, I'm going to see that. And that was it. But there was 4 kids sitting behind me. And by the end of it, for them, they're like, I'm Leonardo, oh, Michael. And it reminded me of when we were kids. And we did that with our friends. And I was like, that's why this is special.
Right. Because we had those. You got to have those moments. If you don't have the moments, the connection, the camaraderie, it's not going to mean as much, And that's even like Ron said. Everyone's been throwing some stuff.
Oh, yes. Andrea.
Thanks, Andrea. Appreciate it.
Phil said some wonderful, wonderful things, but I'm just going to bring up his one more. Horror Tale 666 Part 2 comes out in August.
He also said how amazing we were.
Yes, he is amazing. Oh, yeah, he's amazing. Ron Lippett, the man from the best man.
Ron, what's up, buddy?
Crossing the Streams. My favorite Yosemite Sam line. Whoa, camel. When I
whoa.
I think I did pretty good there. I'm not even.
It's pretty strong.
And then he said, imagine the disappointment when my 3 daughters became old enough to realize the smartest things I've ever said were direct Bugs Bunny lines. Yeah.
That's why there's a whole lot of stuff I've just stowed away that River's not allowed to watch for a long time. I'm like, you can't understand that this is where my knowledge comes from.
That's why I hate Space Jam and Space Jam 2.
Yeah, I just say I hate all these movies where I've learned life lessons and I'm using those direct lines.
I have to disagree with you here, Ron. Uncle Buck was not good. Yeah, I love that movie. But then I didn't really like Planes, Trains, and Automobile. It was funny. It wasn't that funny of a movie, but it is a funny movie.
It's a dramedy.
Yeah,
it's much more a dramedy. It was much more drawn out, and there were some parts that were lower and darker. And Steve Martin, his everyman was he was angry or he's bitter, and that's a struggle that I always had with that movie. And I always try to figure it out because I love Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It's got John Candy smokes in that movie. He's just so great. And that long speech he gives, you don't like me. Well, you know what? My friends like me. My wife likes me. I like me. I love that fucking whole speech. It's just so good. It's so heartwarming and heartfelt. Yeah. And Uncle Buck is along those lines as well. It is not a super comedy. It is just another one of those dramedies. It was trying to be heartfelt. And then, ended with him essentially assaulting a teenager and throwing him in the back of the trunk, tying them up. Pretty sure it's kidnapping and illegal, but whatever. Federal crimes notwithstanding, it was a good movie.
It'll happen. And Ron also says, it holds up from when I was a kid. Seems like old times with Goldie Hawn. I don't even remember that movie.
Wow. I was going to say Bird on a Wire. That's my Goldie Hawn that holds up.
Overboard, man. Overboard,
dude. Well, yeah, anytime the idea of knocking someone senseless and then stealing them from their life. Come on. Who doesn't love that thought?
Yeah, kidnapping.
Fits right in.
And gaslighting, it's the way to go,
I mean, it's brilliant. Who does? Dude, I'm sorry. I've watched some of those movies and gone back, and it is very uncomfortable.
Yeah. I will say this. George G3.
Hi, George.
From Dueling Aces is here. Thank you for joining in, buddy. Go check out Dueling Aces. It's a very fun show. That's where I get my sports information. I have to put it on while I'm doing work in the mornings, and that's where.
And everyone's so freaking smart there, and it's so hilarious too because George is subtly the smartest. The guy who runs it all, and then they'll be like, "Oh, we're not sure." George's like, "Yeah, it's this."
I want George to invite me on the show, but if you do, you got to give me all the topics we're talking about beforehand so I can bone up on them because I am not going to do it. I don't get to watch anything. I'm doing shows or I'm editing or I'm doing I put on a game and I'm like, what happened? I don't even know what's going on right now.
Working on his Jersey accent, it gets way worse. You can tell how much he misses sports.
It's true. Overboard is strong. Well done. Yeah, Overboard is a great movie. I was on the other day on TV and I was watching it. We are kind of winding down. We didn't really
speak for yourself. I'm getting wound up. Let's do this thing. What else we got? What other topics? What else can we talk about?
I got bed. That's what I got.
Whiny. I'll just start rocking and rolling.
All right, we'll talk about the one topic because I want to save the best friends one if we're going to miss it.
Yeah, we're probably not going to be able to get that in.
So I was thinking about it over the weekend, with all these movies that get announced years beforehand. Mm-hmm. I always find myself getting to them, and I'm like, I don't care. You're kind of ruining it for me. Everybody's so excited about the new Doctor Strange movie, mm-hmm. and I'm like. Yeah, they announced it 2 years ago. And yeah, they're finally building up to it with things. But I'm like, it takes too long. It's okay, I watched Loki. You built this whole thing up. You built it up with WandaVision, but it's another year and a half before it comes out.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why I don't mind the early announcements because I forget shit. So as long as they do the early announcements and then not a lot of follow-up, I usually get excited. It's exactly what happened with Dune. I found out they were doing the remake 5,000 years ago. Or whatever it was before COVID, it's just a big time black hole. It doesn't make any sense. So I guess a la 2018. And then all of a sudden it actually starts talking about releasing all of 4 months ago. And I just got stoked, bro. I got totally amped back up because it reinvigorated the juices. Now, Marvel, unfortunately, is one where you just keep watching because I just keep pinpointing. So when the next thing happens, it's sweet, what's the next thing? And then, sweet, what's the next thing? We have access to it. So, unfortunately, now I know this film schedule through 2024, and that's way too long to wait. But at the same time, there's still plenty of other stuff coming out. There's lots of other things going on, and I forget most of the stuff that's happening. And especially since we've been really heavily kind of trying to focus ourselves, myself personally, on the indie filmmakers, and we have so many friends who have so many projects, I really want to invest time in those projects. Yeah. So I don't mind the early announcements because we forget about them. We're stupid. We get shiny objects pull us away. We squirrel all over the place. So it doesn't matter, unless you're sitting there trying to be a historian or a timekeeper. I don't see it as really affecting the outcome of the product.
I think it's stupid, and they need to stop it. Don't tell me anything until it's 6 months out.
Right.
Surprise me with a trailer, and not a trailer before a trailer. I'm talking about a straight up trailer. Drop it and be 6 months. This is coming out. Sweet, just like the good old days. And you're I'm excited for this. That's my next goal.
I get it, man. But sometimes those good old days aren't as good as you remember, because then you may get 4 months with sweet, it's going to happen real soon. I'm stoked. And then it's going to be another 2 years before it comes out on fucking video. So you know what? I'm fine with the fact that everything's instant now. I'm fine with your long-term announcements. I don't care. There's too many things going on. And if there's not a project, Star Wars. When we heard Star Wars was happening, that's an 8-year announcement. You're telling me you didn't stay hyped for Star Wars?
Star Wars wasn't an 8-year announcement.
It was pretty far.
Which Star Wars are you talking about?
I don't know. Pick one. No, but once we knew that there was going to be a third in this installment or a ninth.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So we were aware that there was a stretch between them.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't.
I think you're picking nits.
No, because here's what Star Wars did for us. They announced it and gave us a movie every year.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give them that. I'm not saying they're great. I'm just saying they at least were like, all right, we're not going to make you wait this long. You're going to get Star Wars. And the 3 are going to be spanned out because we have to film them and crap like that.
Right.
But we're going to give you one every year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm okay with that. Now, Marvel, yes, granted, they give us like 3 or 4 movies a year. Fine
And TV shows.
And TV shows. And they are. Yeah. And they're keeping us going.
Mm-hmm.
But just announce 2 years in advance. Announce. If you announce 5 years in advance.
Because when you're announcing like this, you're giving us the holy shit, we're going to get a bigger, better story. Like now we've reached a point where you can't not trust Marvel. You can't not trust them to do very well with everything that the stuff we've given them. It's like J.J. Abrams is saying, well, we can't trust him with Star Trek. He's done fantastic. He gave us something glorious with what we had. So I trust Marvel, man. I trust these studios. I trust these people doing these things. I trust that Disney is always going to put out a fantastic animation story. I trust that Pixar is usually going to make me cry, make me question part of my life, and more than likely laugh a little bit, but learn a lesson in the end, as always.
Here's the thing about Pixar, though. Here's the thing about Pixar. Pixar never announces that far in advance. They announce maybe like a couple of years in advance. Here's what you're going to get. And I'm always happy with Pixar because it always comes around. I'm always like, all right, I'm excited. That's the
fair.
next one I'm in. Marvel, that's the thing. I think it's an overload that bothers me about the announcements. It's because, yeah, you get 4 or 5 movies a year. At least with Pixar, you get 1, maybe 2 a year. With Marvel, it's like, okay, here's 5 movies for this year. Here's 5 movies for the next year. Here's 10 TV shows in between. It's like, you're overloading me. Give me like 2 years.
I disagree because as a comic book collector, I wanted my stories. I needed to know what the schedule was of my stories. I needed to know what story led into what story and what other one shot I need to get in over here. Or do I need to pick up X-Force because they're fighting something with the X-Men? Or do I need to get this Fantastic Four because this is the one where they fight Doom, but this one over here, this Galactus issue and the Silver Surfer is going to tie back in with this one. And then you have to get your West Coast Avengers because they're trying to sell more of those books. So believe me, after just trying to be someone who collected comic books, I am fine with this kind of scheduling because this is what I already went through. But now
it's not the same. It's not the same.
I disagree. I get something better
they
from
would
it.
announce events. They would announce the events and how long they're going to take, but they would not tell you everything right up front. You had to learn that maybe a couple months at a time, especially if you're reading Wizard.
But that's what's happening now is we're learning a couple months at a time. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we are getting a heads up that there's going to be a Doctor Strange movie. Okay, but what we're getting all these little tie-ins along the way, all of these points, we're getting all the story, and it's just adding and building, which is why I can understand if Black Widow didn't quite fit in this phase, because of all the things, it was more a wrap-up from the last one, so it's weird timing. I get that didn't quite work in the overall schema. But this is I love being able to see where they're going because we're building to something. And that I think works better because of Marvel. Now, at the same token, do I want to see the Eternals? I don't care about the Eternals. Am I going to watch the Eternals? Of course I'm going to watch the Eternals.
Now, that's why you just made me, the light bulb went off. That's why Black Widow bothered me. Black Widow bothered me because it wasn't Scarlett Johansson's movie.
Yeah, no, it was not.
They were building Florence Pugh to build her up going forward. And I'm not happy about that because she deserved her own movie.
Yes, I will agree with you on that. I think that is 100%. I'm glad we were able to do this. See, we talked through a little bit longer. We therapy it out, bro. We just get it out into the world and the universe, and everyone feels better. I feel better. I hope you feel better because you look fantastic.
I am feeling very tired, and I have like the summer flu, so I'm dying.
I know. It's awesome. It's awesome.
I will end it on this. Ron Lippett, dear Lord, let us never speak of Star Wars after Episode 4 again. All right, I'm with you. Episode 4, we're never going to talk about Empire. We're never going to talk about.
Hey, man. Hey, 4 was perfect. They managed to destroy the Death Star. I got what I needed. Life is good.
No.
In my mind, Leia and Han just said goodbye. They never hung out again. They didn't even like each other. You know.
I'm totally on that point of view of Black Widow. Thank you. Yeah, she deserved more. And
she did. She did deserve her movie, and it was very much so a team-up movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we got. We got we got Black Widow was bad. Casey finally agrees. It's amazing.
Absolutely not. You're a maniac.
No, we do appreciate you guys joining in with us again. Remember, follow us on social media. We're at the Scene Snobs, and we're on everywhere. So just go check us out. You can check out the network with all the shows. Please do us a favor if you are on iTunes, head over, hit rate and review us. Just leave us, even if you're like, hey, you give us a 5-star and you're like, you guys are awesome, dickheads, whatever. We love it.
They're terrifying to look at. Just listen, please, for your own safety. Like, I think that would be perfect. That's a great blurb. So
yes, I love that one. I might use that. And make sure you go over to our YouTube page. We're trying to get to 1,000. So just go over, hit subscribe, and you got great content over there. I am, of course, Mick Manhattan, and I'm joined, as always, by my partner in crime.
It's me, the Madman, Casey Plott. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here this evening. Be well and be kind to each other. Ron, love it.
All right, everybody, take care.
And that's our show, everybody. Thanks for listening or watching, wherever you're checking it out. This show is brought to you by our sponsor, Manscaped. Go check them out. They are saving our balls, and they can save yours too, or somebody you care about. It's a pretty awesome device, so go check out what they got, the Lawnmower 3.0, the Weed Whacker, and more. It's a great gift for Father's Day, birthdays, weddings, anything. Head over there and use promo code SNOBS, SNOBS, and you'll get 20% off and free shipping. Also, we'd like to thank our super fan patrons. They are all Scene Snob family to us. They support us every month, and you can be one too. So head over to the Patreon channel, the Scene Snobs, and it's $5 a month, and you can join in with helping support us and get the free perks too. Also, you can follow us on social media. We are on everything at the Scene Snobs, so Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We are on Facebook, the Scene Snobs. Everywhere. We have fun stuff always going on, always have contests and stuff, so go follow us, check us out. You can go to our link tree by going to thescenesnobs.com. There's our link tree, there's our Patreon,